What's happening, and welcome back to another episode. Today, we're going to talk about the little or a little known secret for winning in life. And it's a simple word, like it's literally just one word, could be a letter. I'm going to share it with you in just a second. Um, but let me ask you a question. Have you ever opened up the Bible, started to read it, and didn't understand it? Have you ever gone through scripture and or heard scripture in church or heard your parents quote scripture or tell you about scripture, make you study scripture, send you to Christian schools, send you to all kind of Christian programs? Have you ever read that stuff and or heard that stuff and wondered, man, what is this for? Why why should I read it or why should I pay attention to it? One last question. Have you ever got down on your knees, prayed, or even sitting upright or sitting at your desk and start crying out or talking to God? Ever done that before? If you're like me, you've done all those things, and you probably get to the point where you say, why? What is all this for? So here's the secret to winning in life, is to knowing why. Knowing why you get up in the morning, knowing why you want to be the person that God said you are, knowing why you got to push through the hard times, push through the struggle, knowing why leads just about any person to a winning life. And so today we're just going to kind of jump into this, and I'll read a couple of scriptures and some scriptures when I ask why, and then I says, wow, I don't even have to ask why. These scriptures are going to change my life. And we're going to just practically look at the place where your why gives you power. Your why gives you power. So, guys, we're at episode 983. Can you believe it? 1,000 episodes are coming up soon. And I'm just, at the end of the day, I'm just excited to be living. I'm excited that God chose me to have this name that I have and to have the life that I have. Guys, we could always want more, but if we want more, that's why God put desire in you. Go for it, go get it. So, in this secret of winning and using a why, right? How does a why give you power? So, just think back with me to the last problem you had, the last one, or the last major obstacle you had. I like to think of, the one that was pivotal in my life. And the one that was pivotal in my life was September 24th, 2013. The morning that I got the call that my brother, my big brother, had been shot, and his life hung in the balance. I think back to that because, guys, when you're looking for power, look, any old why is not going to do. It has to be big enough, it has to be strong enough. It can't just be, for me, it couldn't just be I wanted to make a bunch of money. It couldn't be just because I wanted to be successful. It had to be something that really struck me to my core. And at the time, I wasn't thinking I needed one. I thought I already had a why. I thought I was already moving in the direction I was supposed to be moving in. But it was that day, right? That day that some things just kind of shifted around. And if you've ever lost a loved one, which we've all have, especially someone close, it's almost like you're living in a blur for whatever amount of time that is. I remember that week, those couple of weeks right after him actually passing. It was like a blur. It was like out of body experience. Like, is this real? Like, am I living right now? And I remember seeing him like, oh, he's coming out of that. No, think about it like this. I don't know. I mean, reality could have set in the moment we hit the hospital, but it didn't set in because you're in that blur. Like, no way. You're refuting any evidence that this is true. Have you ever done that? Refute evidence that something is true, that even though it's looking at you in the face. And the evidence that we refuted that day was, there's no way. We serve a God. We serve God that that does miracles. We serve God that would bring the worst situation back around. We serve a God that would do some amazing things, and we do. See, in Proverbs chapter 10 and 22, I love this one. The blessing of the Lord, it maketh rich and adds no sorrow with it. Now, if somebody quoted that scripture that day, I would have been like, why are you talking about that? What you mean the blessings of the Lord, it maketh rich and add no sorrow with it? And we sitting here looking at our brother, not feeling the sorrow. Well, see, when God blesses you, he blesses you in the good and he blesses you in the bad. And to God, this wasn't bad. See, we're looking at this as this is the worst thing that happened today. God's looking at this. This is just another day where I get to impart or have conversation with my children about things that are happening. And that day he had a conversation with me. The first conversation was this. I was in my closet right after I'd heard about it, getting ready to go get dressed to go. And I said, Lord, what's up? He was just like, hey, what's going on? How are you? Oh, like I can see, like he got a little smile on his face. Man, how are you today? I ain't good. Okay, well, what's going on? Man, what's up with that? I'm crying. It's like, I got you. You ever been with a friend or family member when you were going through something and said, I got you. Don't worry, I got you. Don't worry. Listen. If you can give this problem to me, this one that you think you got, I'll take it. I'll manage it for you. That's what he said. It's like, okay. Like, yeah, sure. Okay, I got it. Okay. So the blessing of the Lord, it maketh rich, adds no sorrow with it, means just that. There is no sorrow in blessings. None. Oh, I lost my brother. I'm blessed. Really? I was just at a funeral, good family friend, passed away, lovely age. I think she was 81. It's sad because she found out she had pancreatic cancer just under 6 months ago, and bam, gone. I bet you if I quoted the blessing of the Lord that maketh rich, add no sorrow with it, they would have been looking at me like, I don't know about that. Even though, because at the end of the day, you just go with people and you just work with them. You don't try and I'm not giving anybody any advice because I don't know how you deal with that. Whatever you need. I'm just saying. Plump age of 81. My brother was 47. So he didn't get 81 years, but she did. So what's the secret and how do we win in life with this secret? Let me just jump into that. Here's how you win with the why power, right? Yesterday we talked about, the picture, right? Today it's the why power, the power that you get. Because guys, at the end of the day, what do you want to do? You want to win in life. You want to win everything in life. The picture. Now we're going to get some power. Now we get it. You need to find that moment. You need to find something in your life that, or sometimes you don't find it, it finds you, and it has to create a trigger. If you go back and look at or find any successful, very successful person, something triggered them on the trajectory that they went on to become the person that they became. See, because to become the person that you have to become, it will require more of you than you're potentially willing to give today. Man, I heard a really good quote last night by Mike Tomlin. He's the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And he says, don't come to me with potential. Don't talk to me about what you're capable of. Talk to me about what you're doing. Show me what you're doing. He says, I meet plenty of people I meet plenty of people. I know plenty of people with tons of capabilities and potential, but they ain't doing it. See, because really at the end of the day, it's going to be painful to win. Oh, it's going to be painful. You're going to go through some hard times. You may have some injuries. You may get some tragedies. You may get some problems. You're going to get some situations. They're coming. How does one prepare for that? Here's what I know. Here's how I know to prepare for it, because we develop them. We're developing why power. You prepare by assuming that at some point something could happen. You don't know what could happen. So you don't necessarily have to run different scenarios, because we don't want to create anything. You got me? We don't want to actually create a scenario. So what we want to do is we want to say, you know what, I'm prepared for the best. But if the worst happens, I'll go. I'll prepare for the best. But if the worst happens, I'll still go. Why? Because remember, it's not that you have to win the game because we're competing. We're not competing against anybody. We don't ever want to compete. Never. You don't want to compete. I get it. Like, oh, well, what about sport? That's different. We don't want to compete in life. Here's why we don't want to compete, because the one who is the most successful is creative. The creativity is what we have to live in. We must live in the creative plane, because if we live in the competitive plane, then we're always looking at what everyone else is doing. We don't want to do that. We can be aware of what people are doing, but we're not looking at what they're doing to compete with them. We could potentially look at them just as an awareness of what's out there. So we want to be creative. And so we want to prepare for the best, but go even if the worst comes. So then what does that look like? It's really going deep into your spirit to figure out what drives you, what's going to keep you driven, what's going to keep you grounded, what's going to keep you going, even when all hell is breaking loose. How does one create this why power? Simple. This isn't hard, guys. I gave you the easy way last week. Educate, apply, systematize, and you develop you. That's great. Today, here's how we're going to do this. I've talked about this many times, and I use this framework because I got it from Dean Graziosi of Millionaire Success Secrets book back in 2017 or 2018. It's one of those years. 7 levels. Get deep. 7 levels of your why. Why is it important for this to happen? Why is it important? And why is that 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 important, to the point where you are shedding tears? It may take you some time. See, because really at the end of the day, I talked to my wife, Jenny, and she's a case study. I love you, honey. She's a case study on everybody wants to be rich. Everybody wants to be successful. And I say she's a case study, it's because to me, I can see her as a representation of the people that I have to help. She's a representation of a group of people who's saying to themselves, well, yeah, of course I want to do that. Of course I want to be rich. Of course. So here's the thing. I've got to get more creative in showing how that kind of person can win in life. And here's the thing. They're not easily convinced. They are not easily convinced. That kind of person is logical. That kind of person works hard. So they already understand working hard. They already understand just things in life. They know what they want. Just may not know how to get it. Then that's where I come in. Last night I was doing something because, I'm doing my last 200 push-ups for the evening. I was just like, yo, I am powerful. Like, I am in total control over my body. I'm in total control over my life. I'm in total control over my money, over my spirit, over my mind. I'm in total control over my hands, over my feet, over my arms, over my legs, over everything that I am. I'm in total control over my ears and my nose and my eyes. Why am I saying that? Because you gotta get strength from somewhere. You gotta feed the part of you that needs you. There's a part of you that's like, can you please let me out of here? I've been waiting to come out. There's a part that's wondering when they're going to come out. So how are you going to use this secret to win in life? This why power? How are you going to do it? Well, you got to take some time. You're going to write some things down. Like yesterday, we talked about the picture. You need the picture. What are all those things you desire? All the stuff you want. Why? Why do you want it? So you should now take the picture that you have drawn up, written down, and now you go to, well, why is that important? Why is that important? Why is that important? See, if it's just superficial, you ain't going to cry. It ain't going to mean nothing. And which means that you're not going to be willing to do what it takes to get it. But if that desire is strong enough, if you're driven because you know, look, at the end of the day, the partner was like, she knows she got to have a yacht. Yeah. Then that means we got to trade something. Something has to be traded, not just the money. Got to trade something. Yeah, I want a plane. Oh, I'm going to have to trade something. Now, I do know how to get the plane. I know how to get all of it. Now, here's the thing. I just don't know how to do it yet. Did you catch it? I know how to get it. I just don't know how to do it yet. Because I've seen someone do it. They've shown me how they did it. I just don't actually know how to do it yet because I haven't done it yet. I don't get to know how to do it until I've done it. You follow? I can always have a process and like, I can just do it. But until I actually get the result, that's when I can do it. That's when I know I can do it because the results are coming in. Now, here's another hack for that, and then I'm going to let you go. I got to act like I know how to do it. I got to go up to that level where, you know what? If I was flying a plane, if I had my own plane, if I had my own jet, how's that person act every day? Man, I'm telling you, I got to change my ways because if I had a jet, then there's things that I can't act a certain way. So I got to fix that. So it's going up to that next level. I think we talked about that a couple of days ago, is moving to the level where you want to be and literally taking a page out of Hollywood and acting that out, but not from a place of faking it, but acting it for real, literally modeling behind what it is that you know you should be doing. So look, this little known secret, it's simple, like create a why, go 7 levels deep and keep going in those levels until it strikes the core. Or if you were anything like me and you had a major shakeup in your life at some point, go back to that. Use that as your reason for winning in life, winning in business, winning in your family. Use that. And what you'll find is that you can wake up every day, do the things that you know you should do, and do them with a smile. This little known secret, so many people are winning in life. Why not you and why not me? Guys, I appreciate you for joining me for this episode of the Account for Life podcast. I'm Jay Moore, the Healthy Accountant, helping you to account for your life. God bless, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the Healthy Accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.